Let's talk about this further, possible next steps. Go ahead and bring in Ruthie Blum. She's a former advisor at the Israeli Prime Minister's office and contributing editor at the Jewish News Syndicate. Ruthie, thanks for joining us. I want to get your insight on this plan. If you can sort of break it down for us, what's been agreed to, and do you see Hamas accepting this new possible ceasefire deal?
First of all, thank you for having me. I will say that there's a lot of confusion about this deal because President Biden pulled a fast one on Friday afternoon, which was Friday night, Israel time, when he gave this speech announcing an Israeli proposal that Israelis had not heard of. Now, we've heard that there were proposals on the table, one recently, in fact, that Secretary of State Antony Blinken called very generous. That proposal, that was last month, that proposal was first rejected by Hamas and then accepted by Hamas. And then it turned out that Egypt and Qatar had passed on to Hamas a very different proposal from the one Israel had submitted. So apparently the current one was handed over on Thursday. I'm not sure if that's accurate, and I'm not sure if it resembles the last month's deal or not. It's a three-phase plan, according to President Biden. The first phase of which will involve a ceasefire, the release of some hostages, living and dead, and the release of Palestinian terrorists in exchange, a few other things. And then after 6 weeks, the second phase will involve a more permanent ceasefire, and the third phase would involve rehabilitating Gaza. That's just a rough outline. Now, the fact is, it's unclear, first of all, whose proposal it is, because Biden announced that it was an Israeli proposal, but then halfway through, he said, I urge Israeli leaders to accept it.
Right.
Now, if Israeli leaders proposed it, why would they need to accept it? Okay.
And the White House today saying that this is not a plan from President Biden, that this is an Israeli plan. And I do actually want to ask your take as well. You know, through aides, we're hearing that, you know, Netanyahu doesn't think that this plan goes far enough, thinks that there are things that need to change. What are you hearing as far as that's concerned?
Well, I don't know what you mean by doesn't go far enough, or what the aide meant by doesn't go far enough. But what I can say, knowing the Netanyahu government, Netanyahu-led government, what Israel cannot accept is leaving Hamas in power in Gaza. Okay, that's the bottom line. Hamas won't accept being defeated. So I think there's where the most simplest outline, and whether, therefore, if Hamas accepts any deal, you can bet it's one that is extremely bad for Israel.
Do you think that, you know, the ball is sort of in Hamas's court right now? Where do you think we go from here? Do they accept this proposal?
Okay, first of all, let's not treat Hamas as though it's some kind of country with rational behavior and international relations conduct. Hamas is it's not merely a terrorist organization. It's an Iranian proxy, and it's not merely an Iranian proxy. It is led by some of the really worst bloodthirsty murderers, rapists, beheaders, arsonists you can imagine. So it is not in Hamas's interest in the least bit even to release all the hostages, dead and or alive, because the hostages for Hamas are not only chattel and not only sex slaves, but they are leverage. And, you know, this is a real problem in asymmetric warfare of any kind, but it's particularly problematic when Israel's key ally, the leader of the free world, the United States, is somehow tying our hands in the execution of this war to eliminate a force that is also very harmful to America and the rest of the West.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.